Hey, Greg. W- the way you saw the game, the first half, it seemed like you guys hadn't really played a game in a month. But how did you sort of work your way into it from then on?
Yeah, I would agree. I thought we were a little bit maybe rusty. we we gave away a couple balls early in the game on back passes with really we didn't have pressure that then sprung a couple attacks against us. Yeah, then we just weren't sharp, and I think everything was just a little bit too slow in terms of the rhythm of the game and the ball movement and stuff like that. I knew it was going to be a process of us kind of building into the game. It's just again because it's been 4 weeks since we've played actually a formal competitive game, and so yeah, I think as the game progressed, obviously they go down a man, which gives you more space and time on the ball. But I thought we got structurally a little bit smoother, and we started using spaces better. The one thing I'd say is we still need to get. We had some, and when we did, the vertical runs, the guys running through the back line, the direct sort of runs that were coming off of the possession, I think when we got those moments, we started to be a lot more dangerous. And so we need to do more of that. And I think it was an important game for us to get a win because we haven't played in a while. So however you do it, and now you build some momentum and some rhythm and turn around and play quickly in a few days.
And you said the other day about you knew that you guys had gotten better with all the acquisitions, but when you were able to bring on Michael Barrios, brought on Delgado, you almost brought on Fagundes.
That's for later in this.
That's for Scott's question. That's Scott's question. But yeah. You see the quality that you guys have brought on, and how does that help you guys going forward here?
Yeah, it's nice. The additions helped us a lot. I thought, I thought Maya and Edwin, as two guys who started, were very good on the day. We're pleased to have those guys, and they were in the lineup. When we were looking down the bench today, there was guys firepower to bring on. Sharpie came on and has a great chance, gets a goal off the penalty. Obviously Fagundes, who unfortunately, we'll get to that, didn't get himself on, but Mikey brings on again another dynamic layer. So it's nice when you look down your bench and you have guys who can come in and can either lock down a game, help you take control of the game, or actually help you then see a game out and really win it and take it forward and be aggressive. It was nice today. It was a little bit of different line of thinking for me in some ways over the course of the season when we've been really thin because of injuries and a number of things. So it was nice. The challenge that I have as a coach now is keeping all those guys happy because they want to be on the field a lot and they want to play. But I think when you can get results like this, it obviously helps. And when they can help each other, that's a close group. Even the new guys that have come in have really integrated into the group, and so that's been nice as well. So it's a group that wants to work together, win together, and they got that tonight, and we'll build momentum off of that.
Greg, thanks again for your time. For the 5 new players you used, the team looked different. Does this remind you of last year when almost exactly this time you brought in 3 new players and it really changed the way your season ended?
Yeah, I hope the regular season looks similar to how we did last year. I think we went 5-1-5. I think we only had 1 loss in the last 11 last year, and we need something like that again this year. But bringing guys in, being very pointed in the types of players and who you're able to bring in mid-season to really help the group was good work by everyone involved. I mean, we needed a veteran center back, someone to help us lead because we lost Martin. We needed a defensive midfielder because we lose Gaston. We needed some goal creation and some finishing. So you have Diego, you have Mikey, and you have Sharpie. So we brought in some guys who really know our league, so it doesn't take them any real time to transition to that part of it. And we brought in some guys who are experienced, who have played in a lot of places and understand how to adapt pretty quickly. So, it was good work. I hope the outcome is similar in terms of what it means for our team this year, but I certainly think tonight those guys got an opportunity to integrate. We got a win, and we should be better in the next game for having that experience together tonight, and it should get better as we continue to go.
Hey, Coach. What's the deal with the penalties? We saw in the beginning of the season it was kind of messy because everyone wanted to take it, and now we see that Billy takes the penalty. Is he the designated taker, or is it Ricky, or who is taking the penalties?
Yeah, I mean, Ricky was stepping up at that point because of the guys that take him. He was the guy on the field. Billy, I think he wanted to take it because all strikers want to take it and get themselves going. And, you know, Ricky had the option of taking it or handing it over, and he handed it over to Billy because I think all of us know we need to get our strikers scoring goals and get them in a rhythm. Whether it's Dayon or Billy or whomever is up there, we need our strikers to score. So it's a way. I thought it was a great gesture and a way for him to get off the mark and get started. You know, goal scorers are about confidence. They're about putting the ball in the back of the net, seeing it hit. So I think it was a positive gesture on his side.
Hey, Greg, well, here's the question.
Yeah.
What happened there? And can you also kind of run down the mechanics of how it happened?
I'll give you to the best of my knowledge. I still need to do a full investigation of the situation to understand it completely. But there was Diego was wearing number 21. Evidently at the league office, he's still number 14. Not sure exactly why, because that was his number at Austin. So when he was populated on the roster for the day, he was populated as number 14 from the league perspective. Don't know why that change hadn't happened with the league and didn't happen on the roster paper, or why that wasn't picked up in the process. And I don't really know why, when he was brought in and given a number, why that wasn't immediately changed at the league level, and so we didn't have an issue even like this. So it was some sort of clerical administrative error, which fortunately we got through it tonight because we won the game. It was disappointing and for Diego, and as I said to him, I apologize for him because this is, you know, we don't ever want these things to obviously happen. They're things that just need to be taken care of. And I don't know exactly where it gets lost, if it's on the league side, if it's on our side, or where it is. But ultimately, I do think it's for us to make sure that things are correct and everybody is there. But when players switch teams and change numbers, there's a process that evidently needs to take place that is more formal than what actually took place on our side. We did bring out the 14, and we were going to put him on, and then they said we couldn't put him on with the 14. So we tried to, and I don't know, that's why I say a full investigation, and I need to get a whole committee to do that. But I don't know exactly where all of these hang-ups were, even once we changed the number. So
Well,
we'll figure it out.
I figured that it's because you already have a 14 on your roster. He may be injured and on season ending, but he's still number 14 on your roster.
I would assume that has something to do with it. Yeah, and it shouldn't populate two 14s within our roster. It should probably signal something if that's going to happen, or we should, you know, obviously, or we pick it up, one of the two. But something needs to happen in that so that scenario doesn't exist again. Yeah.
Within the mechanics, do you have to sign off on a roster or on a lineup sheet that goes to the officials?
Yes, I look at the names. Now I'm going to start looking at the numbers. It's not something that I ever did in the past, but yes, I just make sure the coaches are the right coaches, the players are the right players, and now I will start to pay attention to the numbers more closely, yes.
I have a follow-up. Is that why it took so long for the subs to come in?
Possibly, yes. That could have been the hang-up as they were trying to, yeah, because we had gone through like 3 or 4 stoppages of play, it seemed like, before they were coming in. That must have been the mix-up on the sideline. I didn't ask, I just kind of assumed that was the situation.
Have you ever been in this type of situation before?
Never. No, I've not seen that.
Hey, Greg, thanks for your time. Rob Jalan from Last Word on Sports. What do you think of Edwin Cedillo's game tonight, and what does that mean for somebody like an Adam Saldana, who, you know, is kind of like on the fringes of the first team?
I thought Edwin was excellent. I thought he was, the way we would probably describe it, one of the coaches described it, he has very quiet feet, which means he's not all over the place. He's where he needs to be. He takes the ball in soft. He gets you out of situations that look like jams. He's just very clean and tidy. And I thought he was that today. I thought, you know, if the situation was a little bit fuzzy, he took care of it. And he also can close and win balls. He's a ball winner, a guy who breaks up things in the midfield, like a true defensive midfielder. So I thought he was really good. And based on the role, we asked him and Udi to really sit under attacks a little bit more and help us in transition and help us a little bit more on the defensive side, try to give our fullback a little bit more freedom to get forward. And again, I thought they did a nice job of managing things because it became a game of a lot of possessions and then transitions that you have to manage because of the numbers, the 10 against 9 or whatever, 11 against 10. So I thought he did a nice job. What does it mean for Adam? Adam's on his own process and journey. He was obviously with us and getting some minutes a couple years ago. He had a really bad injury, which basically cost him the whole season last year. This year I think, has started to find himself again inside of the second team environment. He trains with us a fair amount. We'll see what his future is because his contract is up at the end of the season, so we'll have to figure out, between him and us if it's going to be continued to be here. I know he's a young man who needs to play and needs to find games, but we needed a midfielder who can step in today and help us to try to get to the playoffs. And Edwin is, I think, one of the better young defensive midfielders in the league, in my opinion. So,
Hey, Greg, just to follow up on Edwin. It seems like in that position, it would almost be easier to get in the way of a lot of stuff with Ricky moving as much as he does and stuff like that. Were you surprised? Maybe you've seen it over the course of a month, but you're surprised how comfortable he looks in that position.
yeah, it's actually something we talked about a lot, that just to be aware when Ricky drops down, you don't want to get it with three midfielders in those low central positions kind of in each other's way. So, he had a couple different roles where we were clearing space for Ricky to drop down and pick up things, whether that's to drift wide or to drop one into the back line. There was different ways that we looked to create a little bit of space inside of there. But it's something we've been talking about. I mean, I guess the fortune of having 4 weeks and no games is you get to cover a few things with some new players. But that doesn't mean everything comes off smooth, but at least you get to integrate some guys into each other's tendencies and things that are going to happen inside of a match. So I thought he did a nice job of. He's highly aware. You can tell. I mean, the way he cleans up the ball, he knows where solutions are. He plays in the appropriate amount of touches. He doesn't ever over-touch the ball. So you can tell he's a highly aware player. So I think he's good at picking up where players are at all times and when to clear space, when to use space, things like that. So I think he adapted himself well tonight. Okay. Thanks, everyone.